you're looking up. The camera's normally over there. So, basically, it's Sunday. I did not plan on filming. You guys love when Ryan is in videos. So I posted a video yesterday, actually, that was meet my boyfriend, if you want, is in parentheses. All my top, like most viewed videos, Ryan is in the thumbnail and is a big part of the video.
So thanks, guys.
So thank you guys. Not only is it cool that apparently you guys like seeing him in videos, I like it because it means I get to hang out with him when I'm enjoying this new hobby that I have found that has helped me so much with my anxiety. It's ridiculous. So I'm just gonna go ahead and point out that somebody brought it to our attention that I titled the video that you guys seem to like, me and my boyfriend, and all I do is ask questions about myself. So I thought that was a good point.
It is a good point.
The point of today's video is for you guys to actually get to know Ryan, because I did not do the best job of that the other day. So how do we get to know Ryan? I could be a creative, original person, but you don't find that too often on YouTube anymore. So I Googled get to know my boyfriend questions. I just have to point out that the first 3 things that pop up are ridiculous. 200 questions, 150 plus questions, 136 questions, and then the one right below that says 50 deep questions to ask your boyfriend.
You wanna do 20 questions?
Alright, we're gonna try this.
Just kidding.
This list that is literally called Love Panky. What in the world kind of name is that? These are dumb.
If you had your dream job but made very little money, would you still be happy? Well, I would assume if it's my dream, then I'd still be happy. Do you believe in love at first sight? Yes. Kind of. Do you believe in love at first sight? Yes. Kind of. Because I don't want to be weird and be like, oh, the first time I saw you, I was like, I loved you. But the first time I saw you, let me tell you, it was a different feeling than anybody else I've ever seen. If you could do one thing with your life, money not a factor, what would it be and why? I would live forever.
You want to live forever? I didn't know that. Why do you want to do that?
I think it's better than dying.
Like live forever, so just like keep aging?
No, I wouldn't want to keep aging.
So what age would
I
you
want to be like a
keep?
vampire.
Yeah, but haven't you like, they're miserable.
They're only miserable because they
What
they
happens
quit
if
having fun. You got to keep that spirit up.
Forever.
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 There's an infinite amount of things you can do. Like, you can't do everything. But
you might be able to if you live forever.
I just think it'd be cool, like, seeing how everything is gonna eventually be. Like, if you're a vampire in the 1800s and then you live to like 1970.
That's a lot of change.
Yeah.
Or 1800s and you live till now.
Yeah. And you just have to keep
But
adapting.
does that
keep
mean
adapting.
you're immortal? My question has always been, and I know vampires aren't real, but they might be. Well, that's a different video.
Yeah.
My question is, if they live forever, does that mean that like if the world ends, that they're still here? Because like, how do you?
Well, supposedly.
Because the idea of the world ending would mean that like we would die in some way. Like everybody would die in some way or another. Burned, something would fall on them. You know, like you would.
If there is a way to kill them, like setting them on fire, and that's all you gotta do, and that's how the world ended, then I'm sure that that's.
Okay, then scrap the vampire thing. If you can live forever, and like, does that mean nothing can kill you? Or does that just mean you can live forever? Like, how does, you see my question? If you live
I don't know,
forever,
'cause
can
it just
anything
depends
kill
on-
you? This is philosophy.
Yeah, because I know being like immortal, you can get like shot, stabbed, whatever,
Right.
and it just heals.
Right.
So could you be fucking burned, and then you put the fire out, and your skin just reconstructs?
Well, because if the world were to end, and I mean, I'm talking like collapse in on it, so I'm
So like the earth just like disintegrates?
Yes. Where are you just
I guess
like
I'd just
alive
be floating
in
around in
space?
space until I hit Mars.
Interesting. I would not want to live forever. I'm good on that.
We've stumbled upon 180 questions. Do you want to have children? Yes. How long was your longest relationship? Less than a year? Like 11 months? Why did it end? I don't know. Why do they all end? Have you ever been engaged or married? No. Do you want to get married? Yes.
I'm bored with this, like, whole these questions things.
I'm like drinking all that. Start sippy.
I want to talk about something controversial.
I don't know if you guys know or not. A lot of fucking people go missing from state parks.
Dude, okay.
Look into that.
Missing 411. It's on Hulu.
And if you don't have Hulu,
Mile Higher podcast.
yeah.
And I linked them in my last video that we did.
Can they see if you link there?
I don't think they can. I wish they could.
They're just like, who the fuck is this?
64 views. Nothing. Some bitch from Oklahoma. Useless. Disregarded.
Like we need her shout outs.
No, but really, like, missing 411, we found out that there is a lot of people that go missing from state parks. And they're like, it's not, I feel like everybody's like, well, yeah, animals. But it's like a lot of people go missing and it's like not animals. People think it is, but then when you actually look into the cases, there'll be like no blood found. There's no torn clothes. There's no, like, if an animal attacks somebody and like eats them, they would leave behind some kind of remains, bones, skin, tissue.
It'll be like fur and stuff from like the animal. Like an animal's not gonna like do all this. I mean, how many hairs does a human lose a day?
Oh,
Animals shed fur. There would be fur on that.
It's just, there's like, it's like nothing has been touched. It's like they just are gone. And it's weird. You should check it out.
Marilyn Monroe was killed.
Are you into conspiracies? I feel like we should kind of tell the story a little bit so people know. They said she overdosed.
She knew things, and they wiretapped her phone and found out she was going to say stuff about those things.
And that's not hearsay or rumors. That's like
documented.
They tore her house apart and found, like, what do they call it? Wiretap? Like,
yeah.
They had bugged her house.
And all this stuff is on stuff on like.
You can find this stuff. It's not. It's not fake news.
Unacknowledged on Netflix. Ooh, watch it. It's good shit, man.
I have asthma, and he likes to make fun of my inhaler.
You can't breathe.
But I also made this cool little. It's my inhaler.
It's so cool.
So, laugh all you want. It's one of the coolest ones I made. And it was like one of the first ones I made too.
Marilyn Monroe.
She apparently supposedly overdosed. But when she was found laying on her stomach, face down on her bed, naked completely. And the only thing, from what I understand, that suggests that she overdosed is that she was, like, all of her pills were on her nightstand and she was kind of like facing them. They say she overdosed on pills, but there was no cup, no glass, no bottle, no can, like nothing that you could take a drink out of found anywhere near her. And there were no pills found in her stomach. She apparently overdosed on what would be like an anti-anxiety medicine. She took several Nambutals?
And that's what it is.
And she was prescribed these from her like psychiatrist, Greenson. And he also prescribed her a chloral hydrate enema. And supposedly the combination of these two things killed her. They didn't find any pills in her. The theory is that she tried. If you go with the suicide thing, if she killed herself, is that she took so many that they just went into her system and killed her, and then the other pills, like, from the documentary that I watched, said that she took so many of them that like 4 of them would have killed her, but she took a whole bottle. So where would the other pills be? So if 4 of them went into her system and were not in her stomach anymore, like it dissolved, whatever, and went, I don't understand the science of that, but you know, broke down, then where would those other pills be found?
My whole thing is that if you take more pills than less, it's going to take longer to like dissolve and like
well, yeah, because
whatever
there's more of it to break down.
Yeah, and also say you took 10 and the 4 killed you,
you'd have 6 in your stomach.
Yeah, because if your organs and stuff shut down,
I don't think gonna be. I mean, it might. Honestly,
I don't think it would keep processing them and whatnot.
It might. I think that because your body still like somewhat does some stuff for a little bit, from what I understand. Like some of your organs still.
It just depends on how you die, though. I feel like
I mean,
if pills shut.
I'm just saying, there's no way no pills would have been found. Like that's not a thing. And also, she would have had to have taken all of these pills, and then literally clean the glass and put it back in the cabinet. Like because. This is Marilyn Monroe. She had a housekeeper. It even says that here. She had like a clean house. You know what I'm saying?
Was a housekeeper there at the time?
Yes. She was dating Joe DiMaggio. And they apparently were introduced on a blind date in 52. But the whole story goes that he was kind of trying to break things off, I think, or she was trying to break things off. One of the two. And he had been worried about her one night. He had made a phone call to the housekeeper and was like, hey, I'm kind of worried about her. You should like check on her. So the housekeeper went to her room and the door was shut, but she noticed that the light was on underneath the door and walks away from the door. Well, about I think an hour to 2 hours later, sometime later in the night, the housekeeper went back by Marilyn's room, noticed the light was still on, and that she still didn't hear anything. And this is when she went into the room and found Marilyn, again, naked, which
kind of
to me is weird. I know that Marilyn Monroe was kind of like this sex symbol back then, but I don't know, I just think it's weird to be like, let me take all my clothes off. Anyway, housekeeper finds her and calls Greenson. And Greenson is like, okay, I'll be over. But my thing is, why did she call the doctor before calling the police or like not before calling 911? And the theory behind that, they say that the reason that the housekeeper didn't call 911 is they didn't want this in the media. They didn't want any rumors flying around the media. They didn't want the media like coming to the house in case this was like a serious thing, which makes sense. But at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like, why would you call a psychiatrist if you want to hear like a crazy conspiracy? Which I don't buy this one bit. But there is a theory that, because we know, you know, the whole happy birthday, Mr. President thing, you know, JFK, John F. Kennedy. There is a theory that they both faked their death, that they loved each other so much, and they could not be together in the world that they were living, like in the lives that they were living, so they both faked their deaths, so they are now somewhere living together. I'm sorry, how did John F. Kennedy fake his death?
That dude's...
If you don't know...
His head exploded.
It is brutal to see. I mean, you see just...
everything.
It's insane.
You see everything, and there's videos out there.
missing someone.